Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Mohd Faris Hazim. Today, me and my teammate from Group F will be presenting about our result of calculating pay LajakKuruih F. Our group consists of 3 people, which is led by Danish, Rozain, and joined by Yong and myself, Faris. LajakKuruih is a manufacturer that produces health supplement diet tablets called LajakKuruih. The company produces 15 types of LajakKuruih tablets with different health properties. The tablet that our group got assigned with is tablet F. The data set given shows 200 sample observations taken at random from 3 production shifts run daily, namely morning, evening and night, in December 2021 for different types of LajakKuruih tablets. And this is our assignment question. For question A, we were asked to describe and summarize the sample data of our assigned pill. From here, we divide accordingly to 3 categories, which is weight, tensile strength, and relative density. From here, we can see the average weight of the pill is 349.33 mg, with the minimum 303.51 mg and 386.18 mg for the maximum weight. And for the graph, we can see that the range of weight from 250 till 360 have the highest frequency. Next is the tensile strength. From here, we can see average tensile strength of the pill is 7.13 megapascal, with the minimum at 6.7 megapascal and 7.7 megapascal for the maximum tensile strength. And from the graph, we can see that the range of tensile strength 7 till 7.1 have the highest frequency. And finally, the relative density. We can see that average relative density of the pill is 87.87%, with the minimum at 82.9% and 94.3% for the maximum relative density. And from the graph, we can see that the range of relative density of 87.9 till 88.9% have the highest frequency. And that's all from me, and I will pass on to my group member, Yong. Thank you.
Good morning or evening. Now I'm going to explain about the question B, and the question B is about the FDA authority requires that the weights of standard tablets produced by the manufacturer should be normally distributed with 350 mg with standard deviation of 40 mg. The minimum weight is 303.51 mg, while the maximum weight is 386.18 mg. And this is the frequency table, and this is the range that we decide, and this one is the histogram that we plotted from the frequency table. We decide to use the level of significance alpha equal to 0.05, and our hypothesis is the null hypothesis is the data of weight of standard tablets normally distributed with 350 mg with the standard deviation of 40 mg, while the alternative hypothesis is the data of weight of standard deviation tablet is not normally distributed with 350 mg with standard deviation of 14 mg. We transform the X to Z by using the standardization to find the probability. Now we are going to do about the test statistic. And this is the I, this is OI, and this is the probability, and this is the EI, which n multiplied by the probability. We can see that there are some EI which is smaller or equal than 5, so the EI must be combined. After combining the EI which is smaller or equal than 5, then we can calculate for the OI minus EI square divided by EI, and we can sum out all the value, and this value is equal to the chi-square test. Next, we will do the decision rule. The degree of freedom is equal to the k minus p minus 1 equals to 6 minus 1, and the answer will be 5. And the chi-square with the level of significance 0.05 and the degree of freedom 5 is equal to 11.0705, and we will reject the null hypothesis is if the chi-square test is greater than chi-square with the level of significance 0.05 and the degree of freedom 5. In conclusion, since the chi-square test equal to 2.4091 is smaller than chi-square alpha 0.05 and degree of freedom 5 equals to 11.0705, we fail to reject the H0. We can conclude that the data follow the normal distribution based on the requirement with mean 350 mg and standard deviation of 14 mg at alpha equal to 0.05. That's all for question B. Thank you.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. I am Muhammad Danish Rozain bin Muhammad Rosidi, and I will present about question 3 and 4. First, I want to talk about the hypothesis statement, which is H0 is equals to mu1 equals to mu2, mu3, and mu k, and so on, whereby H0 is equals to no significance difference exists between tablet weights from the different shapes, and if H1 is equals to mu I, mu j for at least one ij, whereby H1 significance difference exists between tablet weights from the different shapes. Test at alpha is equals to 0.05. Next, I want to talk about the result of the Microsoft Excel. As you can see here is the ANOVA of single factor, which tells a lot about the data that exists in this result. As a conclusion of the table, I can say that since p-value is equals to 0.8904 is more than alpha 0.05, H0 is not rejected at significant level of 5%. There is sufficient evidence to prove a significant difference exists between tablet weights with different shifts, even morning, evening, and at night. Next, I will talk about question 4. As you can see in the slide, the simple linear regression formula is y equals to beta x plus alpha, which y is equals to dependent variable of tensile strength in this project. Beta is gradient or slope of the line. X is independent variable, which is now a relative density in percentage, and alpha is y-intercept. Next, the regression, I will talk about the regression summary statistic. As you can see here is the table that has been analyzed by Excel, which tells a lot about the data, and we can see here that the regression correlation coefficient is equals to R is 0.84473538, which is almost and can be rounded off nearest to 1, which we can see or conclude that it has a strong positive linear relationship between tensile strength and relative density. Next, since the question asks to predict about the tensile strength, so in the regression table that has been given earlier, we can see that A is equals to 0.26168178, and B is equals to 0.0782144. Hence, the linear regression equation of y is equals to 0.2616817 plus 0.0782144x. At 68%, we can tell that it has a tensile strength of 4.955 megapascal, and at 74.3%, we can see is 6.073, and at 80.1% is 6.5266 megapascal. As for residual plot, we can conclude that the residual are randomly scattered around the center line 0, which means we can get accurate values or predictions. Next, we want to talk about the validity of model. As you can see here in the slide, the relative density percentage line fit plot, and it clearly shows an upward trend, which in this case it can be used to predict test of results of tensile strength of the peel from the relative density with up to 95% confidence level. Thank you so much, and Assalamualaikum.